Wood River House is my home for house.
Wood River Health is a one-stop shop for primary medical care, dental care, behavioral health, and social services. We care for the members of our community because they are our community. I'm Allison Croak, President and CEO of Wood River Health. Since 1976, our health center has provided high-quality, affordable health care to residents of Rhode Island and southeastern Connecticut. We are your neighborhood health center. Let us be your home for health.
Anybody calling?
Good afternoon and welcome to a little bit late Man About Town. We are a production of 321 Media in downtown beautiful Westerly, Rhode Island. I'm saying beautiful. I'm looking out the window at the library. Those three flags are about ready to wave right off the pole. And I was thinking as I left home with every hair in place, don't even bother, Rona, because, and I was right, it's really windy out there. But welcome to spring in New England. We are operating today without DJ Gadget and without Roxy the radio dog. Apparently, there was a problem with her other business, and she is up in Hartford, Connecticut. So we have to settle for the boss.
Hey.
We have Ben Barber. And being that this is the third Wednesday of the month, we have one of my very favorites. We have the movie guy, Bill Daugherty.
Well, thank you for having me again.
And you were in the middle of telling us a story, or you started to, and I said, hold it and tell everybody on the air about what happened last weekend.
Sure,
you said?
I think that's a great way to start out our show today. Over in Mystic, we certainly do our very best to, bring a great experience to everybody. Last Sunday, we had an incident happen where I'm going to be right up front. We failed. We failed. And what happened was a show was scheduled for 2:00. It was a faith-based picture, The Chosen. And somehow, when we were doing our scheduling, tickets had already been pre-sold. But somehow, we don't have an answer. This show had canceled, and those tickets were never recognized by anybody of the staff or even myself on that date. So what happened was we had some guests come in on that day, and the employees who were working that day had no idea what was going on because they saw the schedule for that day. Unbeknownst to them, that in weeks prior, the show had been already scheduled. People had bought tickets. So there was a big disappointment, and I understand that. And that's the very, very last thing that we want to do is disappoint any of our patrons. We do roughly about 7,000 shows a year there. If you break it all down, wow. It's the only theater that I could find in the country of 4 screens that opens up every day for morning shows. So when you put it all together, there's about 7,000 shows a year. And
this is a small little theater for people who don't live in the area, who are watching this from around the country.
That's correct.
It's a small theater, but boy, they make it work.
Well, we've got great support from the area. Everybody loves coming to the theater. But so we failed. There was a show that was somehow had gotten canceled, and we had some disappointed patrons, and it really. But it was upsetting. It was on both sides. So I can understand their disappointment, but certainly from ours, because we never, ever want to see anybody leave our theater disappointed. So about a day later, we noticed there were some comments on Google about the theater. People had talked about myself and acknowledged, some of the great things we did there, but really were upset about us coming up short. So my business partner wrote a very heartfelt letter, and he posted it on Facebook. And I would just like to take a few moments here to really thank all the patrons who took a second to read that letter written right from the heart and acknowledging our mistake, not pushing any blame to anything. And then look at the comments that our patrons left for us, the ones that wrote back to us. And I'd just like to thank everybody who took a few moments to read that and to respond. There were some great responses, and it just really right to the core of why we're there. We love doing what we do.
Are you able to make those people whole, the ones that were disappointed?
Yes. Oh, yeah. We did have other shows, and that they were able to come back and see. And I hope we were able to accommodate every single one of them. But again, the reason for this conversation was really just to talk about that we do our best. We did fail that day, and we do apologize for it. We've owned that. And again, go on Facebook, and you'll see some really, really nice responses. And it's kind of I had my staff read the comments from our patrons, because I felt it was important, kind of like a life's lesson, that when you make a mistake, you own it. And it's a great example to some of the young people who work at the theater to see that you own your mistake, and then you'll see that if you do things right, people will come and support you. And again, I thank everybody for that.
When Bill was on with us last month, we were doing the show live from the Navigant Credit Union, and you were talking about the fact that this was a down time of year. We don't have any blockbuster movies. Things are, but you weren't complaining, because I've heard you for enough years now that I know that it evens out. Well, if you live in New England, in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, it has evened out. We have had the lousiest weather, and you've been packed there, haven't you? Doesn't matter what you're showing, they're there.
Well, in some ways it does matter what we're playing, because right now we have the big blockbuster Minecraft.
Well, now you have you didn't a month ago.
A month ago we didn't, and it was very, very quiet. But again, this is what I've talked.
We're going to talk, as we talked out there, about Minecraft, because
sure,
I'm sure everyone, whether they're listening to us in Washington State or England or here, know what's happening around not just the country, the world, you say.
Yes, you go on any of the platforms, the YouTubes or any of those, and you can see some of the videos that's going on. And I'll be honest, it is quite concerning. Okay. As theater operators, we invest an awful lot of money in the maintaining of these buildings, just normal wear and tear. Never mind any destruction being done to theaters.
Explain to people who maybe don't know anything, because I didn't know anything about the movie. Well, I just knew it was coming, and it was supposed to be a big deal.
Unfortunately, I don't know much about the game either.
No, I mean, what has happened or why?
There's a scene about an hour and 15 minutes in there. I just suggest everybody can go on and look it up. It's called Chicken Jockey, and it just now has sent audiences into really a free-for-all in the theaters. Stories
Why?
of you're right, exactly. I think it's gone a little too far, and now with everybody having their cell phones, people are trying to outdo each other with these random acts, I'll call them. But when you start having real destruction to theaters, that's not good. It really isn't. So
explain what people are doing in the theaters, because you actually showed me that one video where somebody was setting off fireworks.
That's correct.
And you said you thought that was in England.
I believe that video was, but I've heard of stories of seats being pulled from the ground, destruction of screens.
But if you can put yourself in their head? Forgive me for that, but if you can put yourself in their head, what is that supposed to, happen? Why would they pull seats out of the ground? What's happening on the screen that would make anybody do that?
I can only recommend you go see the movie then.
I don't want to. I'll go see Rocky Horror.
We have not had any issues at our theaters, but there have been this, I'll call it, global phenomenon. It's a little alarming, but we'll get through it. It's not the first time we've had challenges in our industry, as you've known, and we will get through this and look for the next blockbuster to come, which will be in a couple of weeks. Before you know it, the summer product will be out, and we'll be rolling again. But
and what is the summer product?
Well, we have the new Mission Impossible coming. We have a new Jurassic Park, which will be coming. The big one is the Superman franchise is being relaunched.
How many Mission Impossibles have there been?
I understand this is the last one, but I've talked to people who have seen the film, and it is very, very, let's call it full of energy. So,
Ben, you look like you want to say something over there.
No, I just got finished with my popcorn.
Oh, well, there's we happen to have.
I can never get finished with my popcorn here. I know.
This is what you got, folks. This is what Bill brings. Am I holding it to the right camera?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
bigger than
okay,
it's
now
bigger
I-
than you. It's bigger than you.
It is.
Yeah.
It truly is. And we've taken out all
Quite a
of
bit.
this,
Quite a bit.
and Ben's had some, and I'm gonna have some more.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it is delicious.
Well, that's always an easy sell. Always an easy sell, and it's amazing on again back to morning shows that we do to see folks come in 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and they're ordering their bags of Skittles and popcorn with extra butter and
mimosas.
mimosas. Yeah, and
Well, fun fact: I sabotaged the Amco computer system nationwide today just so that I could get DJ out of here, so I could fill in and get the popcorn.
You like the popcorn.
But see,
that's
we
good.
never know. I mean, he's pretty good at bringing it, but sometimes he doesn't. And those are usually the days I'm hungry.
No,
Really hungry.
today I remembered everything, Rona. As a matter of fact,
Scary.
yes. Look, you had sent me a little email looking
Wow.
for your donation to, I believe it was
This is the Rotary,
Rotary.
Scholarship.
Okay,
Yes.
well, we
wow.
so
Thank
pleased to help you out with 4 special occasion gift
Thank
packs.
you. Let's do a commercial for this, because you don't have to be waiting for Christmas.
Nope, those are good. Those are
We're coming up now to Mother's Day, Father's Day, graduations.
Yep.
And there's always birthdays.
These are great.
And-
They're $54, and with that you will get 4 admissions, and you also get 2 concession coupons, which allow 1
This is
large
great.
popcorn and 2 medium drinks. So the program was designed to allow a couple to go to the theater twice and not have to put their hand in their pocket. So they can go there. It'll give them their admissions, a bucket of popcorn, and 2 drinks.
And this is $50,
I think
$42,
it's $54.
$54.
But again, it includes your concession for your 2 trips and your 4 tickets total. But so again, a couple can go twice.
And it's good at all your theaters.
All the Shoreline theaters, Mystic, Westbrook, Madison, and also over in Rhode Island here, South County.
You know, it's a great gift, but also 2 date nights for $54 is unbeatable.
Yes.
Including everything. You'll have your
Cheap date.
concession.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a cheap date.
Yep. And you even get a free refill on the larges. So there you go. It's we sell quite a few.
I never knew that. So if somebody buys, that is the large one, right?
Yep.
So somebody buys a large one, they can get free refills.
with the drink and with the popcorn, yes, and we would even honor it with this coupon.
Wow.
And these are great stocking stuffers, but again, that's for the Christmas. They're good
Yeah.
any time of the year.
Exactly.
Very, very popular program we have.
Yeah. And they don't expire.
No, they don't expire. Again, 4 admissions, concessions for both of your times you go. So those are good. But we also sell the gift cards, which you could put any amount you want on that. So sometimes we have folks want to give one to their parent or something. They could load it in there with, $50, $100, whatever they want. And it's an actual plastic card, which will allow somebody to come and use it at the theater, whether it's for admissions or for films or any of the events that we do.
I'm going to put you on the spot for a minute. I truly don't know. But did you, during the women's basketball finals or the NCAA finals, did you have that on your screens?
Yes, we did. Yep.
You did?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Free to the community,
Oh,
right?
sure. Oh, sure.
That's something I think is so marvelous. I never knew till a couple of years ago when you said, "Oh, we do it for the NCAA," and you did it for. You don't do it for the Masters, right?
No, we didn't. But maybe next year that would be a good one to do.
And you did it for one of the speedways, the race.
We did the Daytona,
Yep.
and we've done some football. But
That's right. You did it when the Patriots were playing in the Super Bowl.
yeah.
I mean, to say to people in the community, it is free.
Yeah.
There is no television you can buy for your house that's going to have a screen like that. And just sit with your buddies and you can have a beer, you can have popcorn, have a mimosa, have my favorite drink, a Prosecco, have gummy bears or anything else.
How about this? The last one we did, we even had I'll call it a buffet, but we had some hot platters of food, and that was also free.
That was free as well?
Yeah. Remember, you and I have talked about this many
Yeah.
times. it's about the big picture. It's about our community's theater. And when the community supports it, my partner and I love doing this. Everybody who works in our theaters loves doing this. So it's about, working for both sides of the counter. And when we could do these programs and give back to the communities, it's great. We have one that we're going to be doing next Thursday, the 24th, I believe is the 20th. Yeah, 24th. It's the 35th anniversary for R.J. Julia bookstore down in
Yes,
Madison.
in Madison.
And as we know, that is one of the most iconic bookstores probably
in the
New
country.
England. Yeah, in the country. There you go.
Yeah.
And so my partner and I, in celebration of all the great work that they've done there for the community, are sponsoring a show next Thursday where we're just going to open up the theater free of charge for whoever wants to come down, which I will invite you. You're welcome to come. And there'll be a buffet there, all the beer and wine.
This will be in the evening?
I believe it's at 6 or 6:30, and we're going to be screening Pride and Prejudice.
Wow.
And that's going to be free to the community.
How old is that?
I'm not really sure whether you're on. I probably should know that. But
I mean, that's an old movie.
Yes. And we have already, we're getting close to about 200 people already. We're going to show it on both screens, and it's going to be free to the invited guests.
What made you pick that? Are they featuring that book that night at R.J. Julia or that day?
I don't have the exact answer on that. My partner has been working on that.
Because they're right across the street from you.
Yes. And
right in the heart of Madison.
And we've talked about this, is that there's wonderful, wonderful businesses in Madison. But when you look at the history of it, you'll see that, certainly the theater with over 100 years, it's been there. Is such an iconic piece to the downtown.
Oh, it is.
It is, and also the bookstore. So to be collaborating on this is going to be a lot of fun. We invited local TV stations and some dignitaries in the area to come down and just be part of celebrating their 35 years.
I think that's great. What a nice thing to do.
Yeah, I love doing that part, but
I don't know if you know this, and I may be going out on a limb because she may not want to go that route. I don't know, but you could almost, if you got on your tiptoes and looked out the window by Ben, up the hill, you would see the Granite Theater.
Yep. And
in the fall, they are doing the live show of thank you. I just went completely blank, of Rocky Horror. It would be great to tie that in with what you guys do and what that RKO group does.
Well, if you have a contact there, I'd certainly be.
We sure do. We can give you a name and a number.
Sounds like you're getting ready to come back for Rocky Horror in the fall yourself. Aha.
I will go if your sister goes with me.
Oh boy, yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. But
I've never met his sister, but he told us that story early on that he was bugging her to see it, and after she saw it, she said she was never going to speak to him again.
Especially as one of her girlfriends wouldn't talk to me. But we got over that though, because it's all in good fun.
Well, I saw it with DJ Gadget and Jen, and DJ Gadget got so excited that she threw her arm up at one point, forgetting she had popcorn in that hand. So she helped clean the theater that night.
Hey, we could talk a little bit about now, coming up on April 22nd and 24th. They're calling a sneak peek showcase.
A Tuesday and a Thursday.
Yes, and what it is it is a it was derived out of our annual trade show out in Las Vegas, CinemaCon, and they came up with this idea of working with a I'm trying to come up with the right words here. It's going to be a fundraiser,
okay,
for a children's organization, and I probably should have that information on the top of my head. But what it is, on those two dates, we're going to be opening up the theaters, and it's called a sneak peek day. It will give you behind the scenes footage of certain films that are coming out for the summer. It'll also give you elongated trailers for the summer films. It's much of the stuff that was shown out at CinemaCon last month out in Vegas. and 100% of the proceeds goes towards this organization. Now, let me just take a. If I
What
can
a great thing. Now they do this CinemaCon every year.
Oh, yeah, it certainly is. Yes.
And
Yeah.
is it always in Vegas or do they move it around?
It's out in Vegas, and then there's also they used to be called Show West, which would be Vegas, and then Show East is used to be out down in Atlantic City, but it moved down to Orlando. I used to go down to the one down in Vegas, not Vegas, out in
Atlantic City.
I used to go there quite often. Every
Yeah.
year I'd go down to that one. It's been many years that I've gone to those. The year I went, we got to see an advanced screening of My Cousin Vinny.
Wow,
That
one
was
of your favorites.
Yeah, it was so great to see that. We saw an uncut, unfinished version of it.
Oh, really?
Out there.
That's got to be fun to see that, and then go back and see the film and try to remember what it is they cut.
Yeah, I got to see.
Do they cut because they're not getting a laugh reaction, or because it's too long, or
all the above? And we saw that in like in October. It didn't come out until that April. So the copy I saw, it didn't even have credits on it. But the audience reaction was obviously very, very good.
Sure.
Now, the convention that you're talking about, CinemaCon, which used to be called Show West, that's where all the stars come in. You know, every year.
Oh, they come to that too?
Oh, yeah. I got pictures of my business partner with Margot Robbie. And this year, Tom Cruise was there. And we send Raj out there every year.
Oh, I figured he goes.
He loves going. And
Raj, by the way, for those of you who don't know, he is the manager of the All South County Cinemas in South Kingstown, Rhode Island. And I guess he is the movie nut of all time. He goes everywhere.
He drives up probably once or at least once a week. He'll drive up to Boston and he meets my partner and they go to the advanced screenings. It could be a week, it could be 2 weeks before they're even released. So both of them understand, you know, these films a lot more than I do. I love the operations of the business, but both Raj and my partner love the film side.
I asked Raj when he was on the air with us about a year and a half ago, and I think he said he went to. It might have been the one in Vegas, but he went to one of them. No, it was in Canada.
Yeah, the Toronto Film Festival.
That's it.
We send them there too.
And I said, what was that like? And he said, well, in 3 days or 2.5 days, I saw 40 films.
Oh, yeah.
How is that possible? How do you have eyeballs? And
it starts early in the morning and it just goes all day.
Wow.
All day. You know, not
Don't
all
these people sleep?
In the theater, I guess. But
wow,
it's very unusual to see this where you have somebody that loves the business side but also loves the film.
Yeah,
I was brought up in the operations of theaters. My dad was never one to sit down and watch. I don't ever remember him watching a movie ever. But
he was too busy building theaters.
Well, that's what happens. And
yeah,
he loved the industry like I do, but to go sit and watch a movie. Although I did watch the small, what do you call it? Secret Mall Apartment.
Yes, we did. But we were talking about that out in the waiting area. Have you seen that, Ben? It really is good. Because it's a documentary, but it's got the actual people in it. I mean, I love that guy who is a teacher at Rhode Island.
RISD,
yeah, at RISD. And he was terrific. Absolutely.
I would
terrific.
recommend anybody who has not seen that film, they really should go, especially if you're part of Rhode Island, you've lived here or the area.
I recommended it to our friend in Washington because I looked and I typed online because they said it's around the country, but different places, not everywhere. So I typed into the computer and said, is it playing in Washington State? And it was playing in Seattle, which is 80 miles from where he is. And I said, so go. You can go 80. I mean, to me, I'm a driver. So 80 miles to me is nothing. I'll go to Maine for lunch.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he got to go, but it's certainly well worth it.
Yeah, I looked it up.
And you don't really have to know anything about Rhode Island.
Oh, no.
Or the Providence Place Mall, because that could take place anywhere.
And here's the thing I can say about that film is right from the beginning, you're hooked. You
You
don't want to
are.
leave for the restroom or the concession. You are hooked because you don't want to miss one little thing, what they did do, what they didn't do, but how they pulled it off is just really remarkable. And so it is a great piece of Rhode Island history. So if you have not seen it, I would recommend, please.
And they
listen.
lived there, it was 3.5 years, I believe. I know it was multiple years.
Yeah. They were there for quite a few years.
Yeah.
Is that still showing?
Yeah, Bill was
Yeah,
saying
we do have it down in South County, limited shows, but
Okay.
it is playing. But that's one I'd recommend. I went myself with my lady friend. We had a bag of popcorn and some drinks ourselves, so it was a lot of fun. But
you have to buy the popcorn when you
no,
go.
no, I had to pop it myself.
Yeah.
Perfect. Speaking of, let's take a quick popcorn break for some, so we can pay some bills, and we'll be right back.
Okay,
Very
sounds
with
good.
me.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
I've been a member of Wesley Fitness for almost 10 years now.
Love it. It gets me moving in the morning.
Well, I just recently retired, so anybody that's retiring, this is a great way to start your retirement.
I find it easier to do housework, laundry, food shopping, all those everyday things. I've always done something, physically, but I couldn't find a niche in the last couple of years since COVID, and I found my niche.
There is something here for everyone. So come join us in the Moving Silver family here at Westerly Fitness. I promise you won't be disappointed.
Hi, I'm Chris Kozłowski, owner of Broadview Florist and Garden Center in Dunn's Corners. For over 40 years, our family-owned business has been your go-to destination for beautiful, custom-made floral arrangements. Whether it's a special event or just to brighten up your day, we create highest quality designs tailored just for you. Trust Broadview Florists to make every moment unforgettable. Visit us today or give us a call at 401-322-0390.
I am Jim Howe. My practice is focused on representing people injured in car accidents, representing people injured in premises liability, represent people in all walks of life. I say all the time that I represent the underdog, and by the underdog I mean the person who is injured and is facing lawyers that are hired by insurance companies. If you unfortunately find yourself injured in an automobile collision or in any other circumstance where insurance may come into play, think of giving me a call.
the.
And we are back. Welcome back to Man About Town. We are a production of 321 Media. We are broadcasting live and worldwide from downtown Westerly. And we are with the movie guy, Bill Doherty, who this has been so exciting, even though we started a little late. It's just one thing after the other. I was asked this morning, and you'll get a kick out of this. The GAM Theater, which is a live theater in Warwick, is currently doing a production of Hamlet. Not like any Hamlet I've ever seen my whole life. The reviews have been fantastic. It as soon as the reviews came out, it became like the Full Monty, because every performance was selling out, and it was supposed to end on the 27th of April. Well, this morning they announced they have added 4 performances, May 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Now, the ones on 1, 2, and 3, which is a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they are evening performances. And on May 4th, which is Sunday, there'll be a 2:00 performance. And one of the reviews that they sent me said, even if you're streaming, you'll never see a performance like this. Nothing beats live. Get to the theater. So I immediately thought of you. So if you are interested, and I highly recommend it, don't wait. Get to see one of those. Now we'll get back to the movies.
Yeah, well, it's funny you brought that up, because when I greeted you when I first came in, we were talking about that, and I was telling you about my new line about the streaming, and how if I look at the year as a whole, and I say, well, my challenge is to get you to come into that theater 5 times a year, which the average person generally goes about 5 times a year.
And that doesn't seem like a lot.
No, it doesn't.
5 times to go to the movies in a whole year.
And that's the average. So you may only go twice, and then I don't see you again.
And Ben goes 10 times.
Exactly. So my question to you is, if my challenge is to get you into our theaters 5 times a year, do you think I care that you're streaming the other 360?
No.
No.
You don't care what I'm doing, as long as I get there.
With a chuckle, I say
Yes.
that. Yes, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
But, every once in a while, people like to stop and be involved with a community event, like right now with the Minecraft. That's geared towards, obviously, the families, but there's many films that we have played that people love to come and see and be part of a community event.
And you do very well when you bring back some of those old ones.
Oh, that's what I
like
wanted to talk about.
You've got Pride and Prejudice that you're doing specially next week in Madison. But I know I saw a couple of Hitchcock movies when you brought them back. And there's no way I remember that stuff.
Well,
those were years ago.
Why don't we talk about some of those films? Obviously, your favorite, the Rocky Horror. Our next show will be May 2nd. Tickets are on sale for that. Now, you mentioned Pride and Prejudice. Yes, we do have that great event going down with our friends at RJ Julia in Madison, but it's also going to be opening up on a limited schedule here for the 20th anniversary. You asked me how old it is, so there's your answer. It's 20 years.
Only 20, huh?
And that's going to be here in Mystic on April 20, 21, 22, and 23. So different show times. I'd suggest you go online if you're interested in seeing that as a event screening. Pride and Prejudice on the April 20th. Let's see, we talked about that. And Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, is coming back for its 20th anniversary. That is also a limited schedule, only 6 days only. Tickets are on sale. They're actually selling very fast. So if you are a Star Wars fan, you're going to want to get
Hang on. The Peanut Gallery wants to say something.
The Popcorn Gallery. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It smells delicious.
I know.
Jackie and I just rewatched all 9 Star Wars movies. And then we rewatched Rogue One. What are you doing?
I'm filling you up while you're talking.
Jackie and I just rewatched all 9 Star Wars movies, and then we watched Rogue One, and she wants to continue, and I'm like, I think I've had enough of the sci-fi for now. But
yep.
So seeing Revenge of the Sith back in theaters would be amazing. I remember going to see it senior year of high school.
Wow.
Star Wars?
20 years ago, yeah.
Wow.
And also 20 years ago was senior year of high school. Great. Okay. I'm just gonna sit quietly and eat this popcorn and
eat that
think
one,
about
huh?
my life. Yeah.
But again, that's only
So
for
what else you got coming?
just back to Star Wars. It's only for 6 days. It'll be here.
Oh, really?
Yes, from
You're going to have them hanging out the door to get tickets.
April 24th for 6 days only. A little light on the lighter side. How about Happy Gilmore? A re-release of Happy Gilmore, April 27th at 7:30, and again on April 30th at 7 o'clock. So you get to see Happy Gilmore on the big screen. That'll be a lot of fun. The other one that I want to speak to about is this. How about a 50th anniversary of Monty Python and the Holy Grail? There you go. So any Monty Python fans, you have May 4th.
And there are plenty of them.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And they do very well when we do release these. May 4th at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and then on May 7th at 7 o'clock. I would recommend you get your tickets because those do sell out.
Now, you can't request them, right? It's the movie companies will say to you, we are re-releasing this because it's 20 years or 40 years.
Well,
or
some of them are done under a Fathom program, which is what you're talking
Right.
about. But we've also developed our own program. We just launched that down South Kingstown, kind of a classic series. And we're going to keep that going. I think last night we showed Boogie Nights.
Oh, yeah.
And we're gonna. My partner's daughter Harold takes care of all the film buying, and she's putting together a program that will be year round, once a week, of putting these classics in.
Great idea.
I think so. It's all different seeing it on the big screen. The one that I'm personally am looking to bring into Mystic is An Officer and a Gentleman. I think that should that should definitely play Mystic. So I'm looking at that one. But nothing like see it on the big screen. We all know that.
Yep. And when you go online to Shoreline Cinemas, that's the first line you see. No matter what theater you're looking at, is a movie, unless you see it on the big screen.
So I'd ask my good friend Ben over here, when you saw these 9 hours of Star Wars, how big was the screen?
Like 55 inches.
Oh, okay. We measure ours in feet.
Yep.
He just loves.
I love to let you know.
He loves setting you up.
Listen, Bill, if you want to take a hammer and bring it to my house and just put it through that TV, it's fine with me. I hate the thing. I hate the thing. It's been the only fight that we've ever had in our relationship. Is how much I hate that TV. So you can destroy it if you'd like.
Well, thank you. That only proves my point, is that we are in our homes basically every night. We watch these TVs. It doesn't really matter what the content is. You're watching the same television. I've asked that question. What is the difference between streaming and watching TV? There is no difference. But those 5 times of the year, you're going to want to get out and do something different. And your choice might be going to that movie.
It's funny the effect that you've had on people, especially me. You know, all these years, once a month, listening to you. But last Friday evening, I finally did something I had wanted to do. Gene Hackman was one of my absolute favorite actors.
Oh, Popeye Doyle.
But it wasn't Popeye Doyle. That would have been worse when I give you the examples, because of that famous scene, that car scene.
Yes.
But I wanted to see the movie Hoosiers because I love basketball, and I had heard that he was absolutely brilliant, that he did not want to do the movie, and he was fighting the director the whole time. And then when it came out, he got a nomination, and it was considered a great movie. So I looked online, my local libraries, and sure enough, the little old library in Carolina, Rhode Island, the Clark Memorial Library, had a copy.
Hold on. I got to say, shout out to Carolina, Rhode Island, where I was born and raised. I mean, I wasn't born in Carolina. I was born in a hospital, but
I know right around the corner from that library, more or less. You were raised,
oh, I
right?
literally used to walk to that library as a child all the time.
Wow.
Our first 20 years ago, the rehearsals for our first show that we ever did, that was the thing that ended up launching 321 Media, were done in Clark Memorial
Wow,
Library.
that's a great story.
Well, at any rate, I looked online, and yes, it was available. I was amazed they did not have a copy here in Westerly. They had them just a few in the state. So I went out there and I got a copy, and I said, I'm going to go home and watch it. Do you know that I was looking behind me, because when I'm in my living room, I have a window behind me and my driveway's there. And I'm looking, I'm thinking, Bill's going to come get me because I'm watching a movie. But you know what? He was brilliant. It was a fine movie, but I'm watching it and I'm saying, all the scenes with basketball, if that had been on a big screen.
And it was.
And I got a little TV. I don't have a 55-inch. And I watched it. I loved the movie, but
now can you imagine back when that film came out, you being in an audience with on the big screen there, people cheering at the end and stuff. Big difference than you sitting in your living room by yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, and they're all cheering. They're all screaming and yelling, and I'm going,
Speaking of Gene Hackman, he was one of my top favorite. And as I told you, I was a young boy. I remember my dad going down into our basement, a little office setup where he would do the ads. And back then it was cut and paste and,
wow,
you know, so
hardworking dad you had.
Right, and the press books. So one of the first movies that I remember him doing the ads over and over again was the Poseidon Adventure.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
I was too young to watch the R-rated French Connection, but when I don't know exactly how old I was, but I was able to watch the Poseidon Adventure. So to see powerful Gene Hackman as the preacher in Poseidon Adventure, that really,
there were so many good. Shelley Winters was in that.
Yes,
and there were some
Roddy McDowell. There was some great.
So you couldn't see the French Connection, but you could watch people drowning.
Well,
that was okay.
But
right?
that came out after. So, you know, French Connection,
Yeah.
I was probably about 8 years old when the French Connection came out.
But it is, well, you know, again, I'll say one more thing about Hackman, and then I want to get back to, you know, what's happening with your theaters. One of my favorite movies, and it's my comfort food movie. If I'm ever sick, I will watch a copy of a movie called Marooned that he was in, where he plays an astronaut and they get stuck with not enough oxygen. There's 3 of them out in space and only 2 of them can make it. And magnificent acting. And when I had COVID about 1.5 years ago, that was the last time I watched it. But I was thinking the other night watching the basketball movie, my God, to be able to see Maroon in a theater, out in outer space with everything that's going on and all the noises, and that would be a perfect lead in to what Lorraine can do for anyone having a graduation party, a Father's Day party, a family reunion.
Her phone rings off the hook every day. She is putting, as a matter of fact, she's doing that RJ Julia. She is the host for that show.
Well, why don't you explain for those who are saying, what are they talking about?
Well, any folks out there who's interested in renting the theater, whether it's for a birthday party, it could be maybe a business meeting, it could be just a couple that want to come down and see a classic like a Gone with the Wind or you know, Singing in the Rain.
And you can bring your own movie.
That was my thing.
I can go back to the Clark Library and get a copy of Hoosiers.
And that's where the advance of digital has helped our industry. Where before we'd have to run 35 millimeter film, so to bring back an old classic was a lot more involved. So we do have that ability. So if somebody has one of their favorites, a Hoosiers or something. Matter of fact, we did a screening last fall for the Stonington football team. The coach was looking for that inspirational film. I forgot which one it was, but they all came down and watched it. So if there is something like that works for your organization, give Lorraine a call.
Well, Ben works with Stonington with 321 Media.
Yeah, good. Or you can reach out to Ben.
Stonington, Charahoe, Westerly.
Yep. Anybody that's interested, whether it's Mystic or South County cinemas, if you have any type of plan, anytime somebody calls us and is looking for a theater rental, we basically take the same approach with everybody. We ask them to tell us what they're looking for, and then we do everything we can not to say no. So we work with you with your scheduling. Sometimes people want to have a catered event. We've done that before. Lorraine is fantastic at that.
Yeah, you do a party right there.
Exactly what we
Have
cater.
you ever done a wedding?
Yeah, I've done a few of them. Yes.
You did?
I say a few. I shouldn't say that. There was 2 in there. But one of my all-time favorites, it was a couple from New Jersey that called me, and I was really shocked when they called me and told me they were getting married, and they were having it up in Mystic, and they wanted to have it at the theater because it was their first overnighter, that when they were dating, that they came and stayed in Mystic, and they loved the Mystic Village, and he ended up proposing to her, I think, at the gazebo. So they wanted to have the wedding at the theater, and that was a lot of fun working with them.
I'll bet it was.
As a matter of fact,
was it a big wedding? Were there a lot of people, or?
Yeah, there's quite a few. And the thing I remember about it too was it snowed that day of the wedding, so I was out shoveling the sidewalk. Everybody's walking up in their high heels and everything. But what I remember about that wedding was the couple they were so nice, and it meant so much to me that they thought enough of our theater to ask us to do this. So we're doing this over via email and maybe a couple of phone calls. And finally, we got to a certain time, and they wanted to come up to Mystic to finalize all the plans. So they came to the theater, and we went through all the particulars. And then they wanted to ask me what my fees would be for the theater to charge. So I remember looking at them, and I told them, I'd like you to leave the theater now, take a walk around the duck pond in the village, and when you get back, you're going to tell me what your budget is. And if you tell me that you have 0, you're getting married at the theater.
Wow. That was great. Did you have popcorn at the wedding?
Yeah, and as I remember, this was a few years ago. Like I said, it snowed.
Instead of throwing rice, they could throw popcorn.
And they had the favors were all done in a Hollywood theme. I still have some of the bags they had, which were done in a popcorn bags and stuff. So it was a lot of fun.
What a great idea!
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Great memories. And that's why I'm saying, anybody has any ideas, it may seem far-fetched, but if you have a use of one of our auditoriums, please give Lorraine a call at 53.
Go ahead.
Okay, 536-4228, and she'd be happy to put a program together.
That's 860.
860, yes.
Yep.
We've got about 4 minutes left. What have we not talked about, or what do you want to hit again?
Well,
there's an idea for you right there.
What you got? I love it, Ben.
You like the hat?
Yeah, I love it. You got some questions for me?
No.
Okay,
no, I just have a hat.
You just have a hat?
I just have a hat. I realized that I needed to. I should change my camera so that people can see me. Just for the extent. Yeah, there we go. Here we go.
Looking sharp.
Hey, thanks, man. We did a show at Toscano's Men's Shop this past Saturday, and Ken Collins bought me this hat. And he said that I need to wear it on every show.
I love it
forever.
I think so. I second that. I do. I think that looks great.
Rona, you have no problem being mean. What do you think of this hat?
Wait a minute. No, actually, I do like it. I do.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
I think it looks really good on you, Ben.
You want me to insult you? I have nothing to insult.
Listen,
I have nothing, but you can help me do something for Bill.
What's that?
It didn't work out because he's here on the 3rd Wednesday, not the 4th. But if he had come next Wednesday, it would be his birthday.
Aww.
Yes.
So I thought this would be fitting.
Yes, I will. I will think of you every time I eat my crackers.
That's what he calls me, is a pita.
Yes.
Yes. I'm
And
not
Bill,
really
do you
sure
want to
how to.
explain?
I'm not sure how to respond to this, but this means a lot to me because you put a lot of thought into that, and I thank you.
That is true.
Well,
It is.
happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Bill, do you want to say what a pita is?
No, I think I'll let everybody just kind of.
we can say anything on this air,
You
right?
could, yeah, you could.
I think most people know that would stand for pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And it's only because I am very organized that I do tend to confirm a lot with Bill.
Yes, I get the special text,
But there have been times where you have forgotten.
On purpose.
And you're telling me I'm mean, right?
No.
That's
We've been
awful-
together many years now, and
Yes, we have.
I have to tell you, I still enjoy coming over here. I think it's great to reach out to the town and talk about the importance of our movie theaters.
I just think it's great that you care so much about your communities, that you do free movies, free food, that you want people to be happy. You want to make them whole if they're not happy.
Well, that's why as we started the show out, we talked about what happened on that Sunday. And it was upsetting to my partner and I because we really try so hard. We don't want anybody to ever leave one of our theaters. And I've been doing this for really, it's documented over 50 years. I've been doing this, and not once have I ever had anything ever happen that I have not been able to resolve. But I have to have the opportunity. And that's why when people go online and automatically start writing 1-star reviews.
Unfortunately, people love to do that. It gives them a sense of power.
Right. Well, all I would ever ask is that just, give me the opportunity to try to resolve what happened, because we're not perfect. We run 4 theaters along the shoreline here, and we really try our very best to give everybody a great experience. One of my favorite things to do is to stand at that exit door, and I already know your reaction, but to thank people for coming. I was just at the theater this morning, thanking everybody for coming. And when I say that, I mean that. When I love interacting with the young children.
Oh,
So
I'm sure.
That's my favorite part.
And do they tell you, oh, it was great.
Yes.
This was my favorite part. And
it's coming from the heart, because I do mean it.
Yeah.
I do mean it. I want people to come down there and have a great experience.
we're going to have to say, see you later. See you on May 7th, not May 7th, May 21st.
I will be back.
Is the third Wednesday in May.
However, let me just end it on this. A shout out to our friend out in Bill, out in
Washington State.
Yes, I hopefully someday we'll be able to go out there, and he and I.
Well, if you go to the ballpark.
Yeah, that's one I will look him up. So a big shout out to our friend on the West Coast, and to Ben, and to you. Thank you for having me again. And
thank you.
We'll see you in another 30 days.
And we're going to take another break and then come back, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, we're gonna take another break, and then you're done. You're out of here. You're fired. I'm kidding completely.
And you tell me I'm mean. No.
No, I'm kidding.
All right, we will be back, I think, if I'm
We'll
not
be right back.
fired.
We will be right back. Rona, I couldn't fire you. Literally.
Ever thought about leveling up your fitness game in a fun and meaningful way? Kiefer's Martial Arts on Granite Street has everything you're looking for. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and of course, adult karate. It's not just about getting fit, it's about building your self-confidence, discipline, and that unstoppable feeling you get from all your hard work. Stop into Kiefer's Martial Arts today to sign up.
Are you looking for a fresh cut in Westerly? Step into Rio's Barber Shop in Granite Plaza. Whether it's a classic trim or a trendy new look, we've got you covered. Experience the perfect cut for every age and style in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. At Rio's, it's not just a haircut, it's an experience. Visit Rio's Barber Shop in the Granite Plaza in Westerly, or give us a call to schedule your appointment at 401-315-2208. Your style, our craft, Rio's Barber Shop.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is, right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
All right, we're live.
And we are live. Yeah, we're all sitting here talking about being all of us born in October. But the reason this all started, say hello, everybody, to April Dinwoody. And say hello to us on Man About Town. We are a production of 321 Media, and we are broadcasting live in beautiful downtown Westerly. And as I have mentioned, or I said in the 3 o'clock hour, DJ Gadget and co-producer Roxy the Radio Dog are not here today. Gadget owns a business in the East Hartford area, and there was a nationwide computer mess up, I guess, right? And she's up there.
I sabotaged all of the Amco computers so that I could get the free popcorn. And I'm taking advantage of it.
Yes.
This is my 9th thing of popcorn. It's not my 9th.
Popcorn is so good for you. It really is.
It's great. Yeah.
Popcorn. Anyway, I met April, I don't know how many years ago. I guess we were younger, but who cares? Anyway, I met her a bunch of years ago. She is local. She does so many things, and I'll let you talk about all the things you do. But your claim to fame, and I really mean that, I think, is the fact that she was adopted, is so proud of it. And did you ever write a book called Born in June, Raised in April? You should.
Not as yet, but it's a good title, right? Born in
Absolutely.
June,
Because I know you give speeches and you go around all over. And I asked her if, before we get into talking about Neighbor Day, if she would explain to those people who are all around the country and around the world and watching us, listening to us, why she is born in June, raised in April, and yet our birthdays are in October.
Well, you have to ask the universe that, because that's the question. But the real grounding thing for me is that whether I'm June or April, I'm here and I have a purpose and something to do in this world, in this life. And it's talking about family structure, adoption, my identity, differences of race and culture in a family that bring me purpose. And it's really as a result of my adoption. So I was born in Boston, Massachusetts, and named June, and by my birth mother, then relinquished into foster care. And when I was adopted by the Dinwoody family in Westerly, they changed my name to April. because they liked the name. That's what you did back then. You changed the name. It was, clean slate. And I'm born in October. So it never really it
But
made
it's
a lot of sense. But it
such
was
a
so
good
fascinating
name.
how 2 months, not the month I'm born in. And I did find out that in my birth family, June was a family name. My birth mother's name was Helen June. Her mother's name, my maternal grandmother's name, was June. So I was named a name that meant something in my birth family, and that meant a lot to me.
It's great. And the family that adopted you here.
Yes.
Now you were adopted at what age?
I was officially by the age of 2, but I entered the family when I'm about 7 months old, 8 months old.
Okay. At way back then, people were not adopting biracial children very much.
I was called hard to place.
I was going to say, I am sure they got a lot of grief, but they must have been such special people.
They still are, thankfully.
And,
My parents are still with us, and it's a blessing. And I mean, some close-in family members were maybe not close-in, but cousins, distant folks were not interested in the fact that they. Not, I mean, that's being polite. They were quite against having a Black biracial child in the family, and then disassociated with the family, quite frankly. So
then they weren't worth it.
Right. It was better for everybody in the end. But yeah, my parents wanted to love another child, and they really had open hearts, and that's what they did. And there are lots of things that
they raised you with an open heart.
They absolutely did. There were tons of things they could have done better, though. Right. So, and I say this,
but isn't that true of all parents?
That's exactly right.
All parents.
That's why I think it's so important that, I mean, I can name with specificity the things because they were very clear. I think the more we can actually talk about those things as humans, about what we didn't get and what we needed, not to blame or shame, but just so that we don't repeat cycles in the next generation. That's right. To me, that's everything. And that's why I talk about things, not to give any, it's not about blaming or shaming my parents. My parents are amazing humans. They did the absolute best that they could for all of us as children.
Right, because you have brothers and
rock
sisters.
Stars. Yeah, I can't say enough about them. Is it perfect? No. Are there things that I wish we talked about more? Absolutely. Do we talk about them now? Yes, it's different now. And so everybody has a childhood. Everybody has a family. The better we can do to heal all of us from that, the more we elevate our humanity together.
One more question about this, and then we'll move on to Neighbor Day.
I love it.
I would assume that back then, when you went to school, there was bullying. Oof. I mean, there's always been bullying in school, always. And every time I hear some of these self-righteous people say, well, we have this program and we're not doing that, and our principal makes sure that blah, and you can't follow kids home, and you don't know what's happening well, now there's the internet. Back then there wasn't the internet, and some very damaging things can happen on the internet. Oh. But I assume you had to deal with bullying.
It was.
Did your parents let you defend yourself, or did they jump in, or did they say, no, you got to get used to this?
My parents were hardcore sort of New England folks that give you fundamentals, and then you're not completely on your own, but they did expect us and teach us to defend ourselves to the best that they could. I remember my mom taught me this little thing. One time I came home and someone had called me a name, and it was awful. And she said, this is what you say to them, April. And I said, okay, Mom. She said, I'm the boss applesauce. Understand, rubber band? Don't get wise bubble eyes, or I'll knock you down to peanut size. Like that.
I like that.
I'm the boss applesauce. And so it was, now was there ever anything physical? No, thankfully. And I wouldn't have ever wanted to get to that place. Some things were subtle, but I did have to learn how to defend myself, just like my siblings did and other people in the world. Like, you do have to learn how to defend yourself, but there were more subtle things, like everybody touching my hair, like making more of my identity, and so much attention on it was definitely not bullying. It was different, but I learned how to move in the world and protect myself and be happy, and also to figure out how schools and people and places can do better. It's all within our grasp.
Yeah,
within our
you've
reach
said
to do
that now
better.
about 3 times. You said it about parenting and about schools, and that we can always do better.
Yeah. And heal and grow and
Yeah.
become whole and have conversations. And
Could we send you to Washington?
Oh man, no. I do spend a lot of time in DC for the child welfare work that I do.
Do you?
I do. And you keep nothing says, more, I think, to folks in these places of power than talking about family. And if we really get to the core of it, that's where it all kind of starts and maybe even ends. But let's see. But
Okay.
we're going to talk about positive
Neighbor Day.
Neighbor Day.
When I moved here, and I'm new in town, I've only been here 38 years, and New Englanders will tell you, she's not one of us.
Well,
right. Okay, what is it? Applesauce? Do I say that? I could come up with a poem too, but he'd be knocked off the air. At any rate, that would be the mean part.
Honestly, we probably wouldn't be knocked off the air.
No. At this point.
It's the internet. You can
At
say
this
whatever
point,
you
we can
want.
say whatever we want.
You've been here for 38 years.
Yeah, isn't that
You've been here
scary?
longer than I have.
Isn't that scary?
Yeah.
I never think of it that. I feel like, yeah, I've been here about 20 years, and then I remember it was 86.
Wow.
Yeah, that's 38 years.
Wow.
That's frightening. But at any rate, shortly after coming here, and I don't exactly remember if it was already in play or what year, my husband met Mary Jane DeMeo. And I think she was on the town council at that time. And we lived in Westerly. And we found out about Neighbor Day. And I thought, boy, does that sound, dorky. And then I went to a couple of them and realized this is really a good thing. And it might not work in Los Angeles or in DC, but it's just perfect for here. I mean, you just look out these windows and see what this town is like. Why are you doing?
Well, I was holding up the flyer.
Oh, I thought
Thank
maybe you
you.
had to go to the bathroom.
You're
or
like,
something.
pick me. I have something to say.
At any rate, explain to those who may be new to town or listening wherever they're listening what Neighbor Day is. And Mary Jane is no longer with us, but her spirit is, and she left a beautiful legacy.
She sure did. And the reason why Neighbor Day started is because Mary Jane DeMeo really wanted to bring more togetherness to the town. There were some changes happening. It was 1993, so the first one happened, 1993. And there were some changes in our town. The casino had come, and there were different new people coming in and being around us. And I mean, in some ways we're a community used to a changing demographic, but in the summer.
April is talking, by the way, about Foxwoods.
Well, Foxwoods Casino, yes.
For those who are, again, I always have to think of people listening to us
places.
all over.
So we went from a small town that had an influx of folks in the summer. In the beach, our demographics change very much in the summertime.
Oh, yes.
We become much more diverse in the summer. But throughout the year, we were majority white community. I think growing up, I was 96 or 98% white here, and we've changed. Those demographics have changed, and part of the reason why they changed in around 1993 was because of the casino, and it brought a lot of different folks to
a lot of
us,
Oriental,
new people,
Asian people,
new folks, just all kinds of different races, ethnicities, and all the things. So, and there also was a tragic event that happened back then. There was a place down by me in Dunn's Corners. It was basically a recreation place, but it was a pool. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like you played pool there, and it was great. I mean, it was a place where you go and something to do. But there was a stabbing. There was a brutal incident that happened there.
Didn't remember that.
And I think that was the impetus to say, look, we have to be good to our neighbors. Like we can't be doing this. So Neighbor Day was conceived in that way and was about being together as a community, sharing, supporting folks in the community, highlighting different folks. I know there was always a strong sense of food and music and a lot of volunteering.
Was it
and
always done the same day as weekend
was.
as the garden market fair in the park?
It was. I don't know it where they aligned, just time wise. I think the garden market fair may be a little younger than Neighbor Day. I don't know.
But
for
now
sure.
they are concurrent that
They are
weekend.
concurrent, which is great. And really, it was the weekend before the official or unofficial start of summer for Memorial Day weekend, when in a lot of ways our demographic changes, right? And we talked about that. So it's like, let's make sure that our town is being good to each other. And maybe even that extends to being good to anybody who comes in and is our neighbor temporarily. So I don't know if that was the full idea, but it really was a time when our town could be together and share and being celebratory of our neighbors.
So what did Mary Jane do that continued? How has it changed? Because I know there was a period of about 7 or 8 years when there was no Neighbor
was
Day.
2016, I think the last one was.
Okay, so there's 9 years.
Yeah, there was a period of
and
time.
then COVID.
And then COVID.
And that
just
lasted
wiped it out.
everything up for a lot of people.
It sure did. And when we, the Multicultural Committee has been around for a few years, and we're really trying to figure out what we wanted to contribute to the town. And obviously we could have certainly started from scratch and come up with new ideas. But I think it was Kevin Biglux, who was a town council member, and John Gagne, I feel like, had a conversation about the potential of bringing Neighbor Day back. And that came to the committee, and we were like, my gosh, that's brilliant. It's a legacy, something that exists by someone who's beloved in the town, a way to honor her and bring it back in maybe a new and different way. So that was how it started in terms of its conception. And the committee that the Multicultural Committee, there are a few folks who dug deep into like what Neighbor Day was. I mean, there is an archive at the town hall that is filled with everything that happened, from the bands to the food vendors.
Oh, really?
Just like, it's a lot of paperwork, but it really gave you a flavor and a sense of, okay, what happened, honoring veterans. And there were a lot of there was a lot of programming, a lot of speeches, which today won't work, right? Long speeches and things. So that's not going to happen. I mean, I think it had its time and its day.
The only thing I remember bands, and I remember everybody crossing hands at the end and holding hands and being together and singing, I believe.
Yeah, there's a Westerly theme song, I believe, that we're actually trying to bring back and share as part of the honoring of Mary Jane DeMeo. So one of the things that you'll see this first year back, because I feel like this is going to be a long time growing and coming back to maybe its full splendor that it once was, but the honoring of Mary Jane will be a centerpiece of this, and we will have her daughter and her granddaughter there with us, and hopefully great. Dr. DeMeo as well. I'm assuming he'll be there. We've been in close touch. One of our committee members, Bob Sarah, has been very close in making sure that the DeMeo family is engaged. And so
you do have a whole big committee working on this.
We do. Yeah, we have the Multicultural Committee. So the big difference is trying to bring in, we're neighbors, but maybe all from somewhere else in the world, or somewhere else in this country, or where do we come from, and what cultural elements do we bring with us to be centered in Westerly and be neighbors? There's so many things that come from different places that make us a rich cultural fabric of this town. So you'll see an activity related to mapping and kind of finding your spot in the world globally, where where your ancestors came from, maybe where you came from as an immigrant. And then some pieces and parts of Native American culture, because we know that Native Americans were here, and this is part of where
they were here
came
first,
from, right? They came here, they were here first. So we want to honor that idea and give folks a time, and then a Westerly map to say, here's where we are. Pin your place. This is where you're from in the world. This is where you are in Westerly. Just to look at that beautiful fabric of where we all come from and how we all came
Will
here.
this all be done outside the town hall?
Yeah, the speaking part will be at the town hall, on the steps as a kind of a footprint, a legacy that's where a lot of the speeches happened in the past. And then we will cross the street to enfold into the Garden Market Fair with the library and the park, and do a our map activation will be there. So we'll
And will there
break it
be
up a little bit.
vendors? I remember
We're not
that.
gonna this year. We, as one of our committee members, who's not on the committee any longer, actually our liaison to the school committee, Lori Wycall, who served on the committee as the liaison, and her thoughts ring in my ear, because she was like keep it tight, keep it small for the first year, and we obviously we all felt similarly to that. So we're not going to do vendors, we're not going to do a lot of food, or we're not doing food because there's a whole nother layer of things that have to happen with food, but we're going to keep
the garden market fair, they have
they
have food trucks and things anyway.
So it'll be enfolded into that. So there'll be food, but I think in years to come we'll be able to play around more with that. But
I think
we're gonna
probably still gonna have some of this popcorn. That
thank you.
You know, it's amazing.
There
we have
you
been
go.
eating this since 3 o'clock, and it hasn't
just,
moved.
It doesn't go
I've
down.
had 34 of these little tubs,
in like,
and it hasn't budged at all. I've had 3, but I
still hasn't
want to
gone
say
down.
it's 34,
Oh.
and I will have 4 more. Anyway,
It's
sorry.
delicious. No,
There's so much
food
popcorn.
gets us
I'm
talking.
sorry, there's so much popcorn.
There's so there'll be the things that will happen in the garden market fair will be, people can be moving in around all of it, but we'll do a little craft exercise too for children.
So this is Sunday, May 3rd.
No,
May 11th.
May 19th, May 18th.
You're right.
May 18th. It's Sunday, May
Yes.
18th.
I got it, guys.
Yeah.
It's Sunday, May 18th
Oh.
from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. at the Town Hall steps for the opening ceremony, and then activities in Wilcox Park. No RSVP needed. Just show up. Let's all
Exactly.
come together to celebrate all that is Westerly, organized by the Town of Westerly Multicultural Committee.
Thank you.
Which is great.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that's why you had your hand in the air
Right, my
before.
hand in the air. Yeah.
So, other than promoting it,
Yeah.
what can we do?
Hmm.
Show up, right?
Show up and engage. I feel like one of the things we're going to try to encourage is some conversation around what are some of the many cultures that you celebrate and bring in. So we'd love to have folks who are going to attend and come and be with us, be ready to maybe talk to a neighbor that's standing next to them about their culture and what's their favorite food that they bring from their culture. What's a tradition that they'd like to see us celebrate, that maybe we don't celebrate in town.
Great
really
idea.
to bring that around to some people think that differences make us divide us. I think that our differences are a beautiful celebration of like our shared humanity, and there may be things that are closer to each other than we think. Oh, you like to make that dish, well I make this dish, and it's kind of like that, and it may
Right.
be Italian or it may be Swedish or whatever, but there are certain pieces and parts that like we can identify with. And so I hope that people who do come engage at whatever level they feel is right and true to them. But for folks that are willing to come and talk, like you're a perfect example, like you can talk so much about so many rich topics and bring just a great energy to something. So I think that would be great. You come and engage and talk with others and share your multiculturalism.
And you said you're going to have people from the media. What about Providence? Have you let the TV stations know?
We haven't as yet, but our committee member Charisse and Ruth, they're our promotional committee folks, and they have been doing a bang up job. They got us here to
Right.
see you, and have been doing so much to make sure we get the word out. So we're working on the last bits of promo now to make sure that folks come out.
I'm sure you know this already, but if you don't, Sam Reed from Channel
Yes,
10
fair point.
lives here.
That's right.
Her feature is Show Us Something Good.
Yep.
What would be better than having her do this?
Good point. We need to get in touch with Sam, so we'll make that our business to
Absolutely.
see about coming. And I think we're also I mean, I look, I'm human. I want this to go well, and I know it will. We have a great committee, and what will really make it go well is if people come and enjoy and engage, celebrate the legacy of Mary Jane DeMeo, celebrate themselves and their culture, and celebrate their neighbors. And so I hope that
Something from
this
something
first
from the popcorn
go around.
gallery. What do you want?
I want to pay some bills. So we're going to take a quick 30-second break.
Okay.
Just 30 seconds, maybe 1 minute, and then we'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good.
Hi, I'm AJ Truck. And I'm Jeff Swiderski with AnyMac Home Mortgages Momentum Group, your trusted partner in the home buying process.
At AnyMac, we can strengthen your offer with our innovative program, Cash to Keys, giving you a competitive edge by allowing you to make a cash offer on your new home.
Together, we've helped over 1,000 families move into their dream homes, and we'd love to do the same for you.
Give us a call today at 401-486-0853 to get started.
Hi, I'm Neil Anthus, owner of Sound Financial Partners. We're a full-service financial planning practice dedicated to optimizing your investment, tax, and cash flow strategies. As fiduciaries, we always keep our advisory clients' best interests in mind when making recommendations. Whether you're preparing for retirement or growing your business, we're here to help you achieve your financial goals. Ready to start your journey to financial success? Visit us at our Wesley office or give us a call at 401-642-4333.
Welcome back to Speaking Your Mind, which is what we were talking about. Welcome back to Man About Town, and we have April Dinwoody with us talking about Neighbor Day coming back. And I have to ask this, not to be mean, not to, it's reality.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if it's bad weather? Do you have a rain date for this? We're not talking about a little bit. We're talking about
a terrible,
miserable.
Right. There will be some tents that we can work with, that cover up tables and things.
Unfortunately, we have to talk about that. This is New England.
We still have to. There was talk of potentially being able to move it to another location should there be a torrential downpour, which would be indoors.
And it's such a perfect one, the town hall.
We're hoping, we're praying. I didn't look at the Farmer's Almanac yet, but I should ask my dad because
that's a bunch of
he's always like sworn by it. So to your point, but we will have a rain plan, and we're working on it now.
Okay.
So
hopefully you won't have to go to it at all.
I know, but you do. But look,
the idea of it being indoors somewhere is nice, but it's not. It kind of defeats everything.
Versus
again, for people that aren't from here, if you are looking right now, behind April is the library and the beautiful 16-acre Victorian strolling park, and right across from the library, and right across from us on the side is the town hall. You're right in the heart of everything. It belongs here. It really does.
It does. And I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful. The garden party, the garden fair, and this together. So we're gonna will good weather.
Okay. All
and
right.
we'll let you know otherwise too. What our final rain plan is, just in case you happen to talk about things that are going on about town closer in.
These microphones are always open to you, and even when we are quote unquote sold out, and which we frequently are, for a month or so, we can always make a few minutes for you. Or for Charisse, however. And I think this is funny, but originally, and I understand now what it was, I think it was the Rotary appearance along with this got confused because on my schedule, I had your name to come. And then I had an arrow from Charisse that she was coming instead of you. So
it was like, what is who's on first?
When I
so
always confirm.
Thank you.
So when I called yesterday, she said nice and clear, "Oh, Rona, how nice to speak with you. I'm on a ship and we're in Turkey." And I said, "Well, stop the jokes because tomorrow you're in Westerly on the air." She said, "No, really, we're in Turkey." And I said, "Oh, how'd that happen?"
And bless her heart, she got in touch with me from Turkey. And thank goodness for technology. And we all, everything it was a quick diffusion.
Yeah, it was going to be Ruth.
It was right. But and I was
because I kept saying, "But I have this arrow."
I'm so glad it worked out.
Yeah, I am glad it worked. So what more can you tell us? And You want the people here between 12 and 2.
Yes, ideally come at 12, stay through 2.
And there's not going to be lots of speeches.
No,
so you
ma'am,
can bring
no.
little kids. They're not
Yes,
going to be
ma'am.
bored.
There'll be Big Lux will perform. The amazing Frank Pendola will perform. The Westerly Band will perform at the end. We'll be highlighting Mary Jane DeMayer and her contributions. We have a little surprise in the park for her on that on that
Nice.
note, which would be really lovely. And we'll have a few little odds and ends that we'll share. But it really will be about bringing it back, laying the groundwork for hopefully many, many years to come. And
Hopefully the town council will be here.
Oh, yes.
I mean, she was a member, and
yes,
even though it's an entirely different council, they certainly belong here.
absolutely. They know all about it. They're Mike Niemeyer, who is our multicultural committee liaison, has been really great and active. And of course, I've been in touch with Sean, our town manager, who everybody that I've spoken to or connected to about Neighbor Day that has known about it, been a part of it, and even newer folks on the town council are excited about it. And
It's a
so-
great thing because it's so codifies what Westerly is. This is Westerly.
Yeah.
Neighbor Day would not go well maybe in Detroit or in a big city, but it's made for Westerly.
And I hope even, you think about being together, not everybody will be able to come out to Neighbor Day. The hope is that maybe we can use some kind of technology platforms in the future to share things in different parts of our culture together.
You're
and
sitting
be
about
neighbors,
7 feet from a technology platform over there.
Indeed.
Are you going
I
to be
am
covering
I
it?
am a technology platform.
Yes, you are.
I personally am a technology
Yes.
platform.
You didn't know. This is a new piece of your
A
identity.
popcorn eating platform.
Listen,
Are you going to
I'm
be
gonna-
covering this?
If I survive eating my weight in popcorn, of course. Wait, what are you asking? Because I was not paying attention at all. I was on ChatGPT making action figures.
I want to see them.
I'll make one of. I got to make one of Rona.
Okay.
Oh,
but this is Ken Collins.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Can you
Wow.
make one for Rona right now, please?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
This is his grandson Dan.
Oh, that's what I'm seeing. The trend. I'm
Yeah.
seeing. Who's ChatGPT is doing that?
You can do it through any AI, I believe, but we just, I have a subscription to ChatGPT, so I was making that.
We were
This is one for
talking-
Greg, and I included his cats and
Oh,
the fact that he loves iced coffee. And
Who is that?
That's Greg Moreno.
Oh, sure.
He's calling a baseball game for us right now, and this is Jacob Aruda. We call him the professor
my
and also the
gosh.
blueprint. So anyway, and he loves the Cowboys because he just
Okay.
hasn't he hasn't learned. So
Yes. Okay. We'll give
Yeah.
him that. We'll
yeah.
give him that.
So anyway, all right. I'll make
No,
one
we
for Rona
were
right now.
talking about April was saying with technology, this can, be covered and get bigger. And I just
Oh yes,
assumed
absolutely. We will cover it. We will be there on May 18th for sure.
Thank you. No, and I think there is something.
you can
to-
just
you
sit
do-
here and do it
you
like
do
you
such
did
a
the
great-
parades.
You do such a great job, and I. Do
He'll be
think
sitting
there's-
here eating the popcorn on the
Still,
18th.
It'll be the same bag of popcorn.
You know, if
It will
you
have gone
add
down like
milk,
this
it'll
much.
be like cereal that morning.
Gross. Rhoda. Oh no. No.
Well, add a beer then.
A beer?
Beer, not add it, not pour it
just
on.
drink a beer
just
separately?
drink a
I don't
beer,
drink,
eat
though.
popcorn.
I don't drink alcohol.
Ah, you're not a Libra.
I have drank it. I'm not like sober. Like I have drank. I can drink alcohol. I just don't like it.
Choose not to.
Yeah.
I just choose not to,
There
which
you
is,
go.
I guess, why I'm not a Libra. Okay, fine. You know what?
You're a Libra.
Guys, stop bullying me. Okay.
Yeah, we're not
Oh,
doing
but we're against bullying.
We are.
Speaking of which,
Yes.
are you one of the people that stands on the post office
I
steps on
do.
Sunday?
I do.
Do
I am.
people come? Explain what that is again for those who
Sure.
don't know.
Sure.
I know Frank Thacker, my buddy, is there a
Yeah,
lot.
he's there.
But
Lovely
do
human.
people come by and talk to you
Sure.
about diversity
Amen.
and equity and inclusion?
Yes, 1000%. And that's really the whole point of being there, is to have those conversations and to be in close touch with the people that we're around, and to let folks know that we care and we see them. Like I remember when I first saw the post office step protest. It wasn't on the protest. It wasn't on the steps. It was in the center of town back around 2020 with the George Floyd protest.
Oh, that's
and I
right.
drove through town and I had to pull over because I was crying, because I never thought in a million years that people in Westerly would be standing up for injustices like that. And I didn't know. I was like, wow, like that's amazing. I'm not a carry a big stick person. I'm not a yell and scream out loud, and that's not bad. I think we need a diversity of voice in all of this. And I did yell and scream, and it felt great to let some of that out. But at the end of the day, I was like, okay, so we can yell and scream and do that, which is part of protest and part of how things change. But I also was like, well, we need to do something and we need to stand for something. And a few of us created Westerly Anti-Racism Coalition, Westerly ARC. And we've been there. I think we are probably in the state, if not the country, the longest running peaceful protest. We've been there every Sunday for over 5 years. So, and we've,
and people actually do stop and speak with you.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh. Some of our best relationships are folks we meet randomly who come through, but we're doing a film series with the United, the Black Voices. We're doing, we've done potlucks with a purpose, and with folks bring a dish and you hang out and you talk. We're creating a community that I never thought I would have in Westerly, right? People who want to talk about hard things, who want to understand history, who want to be part of what could change and make things better.
Do people ever give you opposing views and arguments
all the time.
and that's never going to work and that
all the
kind of
time.
thing?
Or just like, why are you even bothering? There's no racism here in Westerly, and that's also why we exist. Like, that's why we exist, because we heard too much of that. We were like, oh no, like Westerly is special. Don't get me wrong. Westerly is the center of,
but it's not perfect.
But it's not perfect.
No, it's representative of.
It can't be
people.
The only place on the planet that no racism ever exists.
No.
So, I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't buy that. So, and we were like, well, so how do you get after it? Well, you got to learn about history. You have to learn about a lot of things that we don't like to talk about, not to dwell by no means, but to say, okay, so how can learning about that bring us to here? And what does that mean? Like, what can we do with that?
I was absolutely amazed, I guess, naively so. It was last year sometime to find out that our neighbor right on this street, the synagogue, that they are hiring police all the time.
I mean,
they cannot have a service without having
protection. It's
and I'm thinking, this is Westerly. And it's such a little tiny synagogue and not many Jewish people here. Right. Why would you even need that? And then I was told there have been threats, credible threats. So they pay to have security. That.
I mean,
and that's so sad.
It's super sad. I don't sometimes even have the words to, our personal physical safety should not be at risk when we're going to celebrate our what we believe in. And so there is a long way to go. There's a lot to be grateful for in this town. There's a lot of beauty here, and it could be even more beautiful than it is if we're more loving and open and kind. And I always think about this, because I think this is a very important thing for us to think about, which is there's something about being here all year long, but something different and special and magical happens in the summer, and it brings a lot of diversity here. And it's that diversity that fuels a lot of our economy in this town.
Oh, sure it does.
And what does it look like to be more welcoming of folks, different way they look, the way what they bring in as far as their art and their culture and their humanity. With, like, we should be celebrating that. We should be celebrating the diversity of our town. And that's what we want to do with this new version of Neighbor Day. Not to jam it down people's throats either, but just to acknowledge, hey, look around you. Like, people are different. They have different ways they practice their faith. They have different ways they cook. They have different ways they move in the world. I mean, is it so bad that we're doing that? And that will help people feel, I think, a little more seen than they have been, maybe a little safer. And it just, it can't hurt our way forward as a town, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It will be interesting to see what happens. Again, let's keep pushing it. You have about maybe a little less than 10 minutes. We're not going right till 4 today. This is an odd day for a lot of reasons.
5. Okay.
Yeah, till 5. We're not going to 4 or 5. Oh, good Lord.
Wow.
I'll have to see that up close later.
See how that happens in technology?
Scary.
It is.
It is scary.
It is.
Technology can be used for so many good things, but
Amen.
so
So
much
many
bad.
sinister
I added theater tickets for you,
Yes.
popcorn, a podcast mic, and a bottle of Prosecco.
Okay. And dogs would be nice. And cats.
Dogs and cats? Okay, we'll try
Yes.
it.
Well, I have a cat. I've had 2 shepherds.
What color cat?
All black.
Me too.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
love
can.
that.
I even have a picture if you want to look at his picture. Yes, my cat's name is Greenberg. He's Jewish. And he's African American.
It's got a lot of intersecting identities. And
there you
cultures.
go.
See, you're a multicultural family.
Well, Greenberg was actually named after an editor of the Westerly Sun some years ago, Aaron Greenberg.
Okay.
He was a sports guy, and then he became the weekend editor, and he became my editor.
Oh, wow.
And he is extremely tall, about 6'5".
Wow.
And never shut up. You could name your subject, he would talk. He'd still be talking. You could go down the hall to the bathroom, come back, he'd still be talking. And when we got Greenberg is apparently part Siamese because he never shuts up. He's very long and thin, and so he was Greenberg.
Channeled.
And
Greenberg.
he's all black, so he's African American.
There you go.
So, I mean, I love it. What are you doing over there?
I'm just they don't kill it with the faces. I'm trying to get like the face to. I asked it to make you a little bit more happy looking.
I would agree with that change.
It doesn't. Yeah, and it doesn't
not
really
doing it.
It's it replaced the popcorn with the cat.
Oh,
hold
right.
on.
That's
It's still
okay.
generating.
That's okay.
How dare it take that
Just
long?
don't take the Prosecco away.
The cat.
Well, especially
Yeah.
if you have the
Do
cat,
not
you're
take
going to
the
need the drink.
Yeah, you're darn right. Oh, you're darn right.
Aren't pets supposed to make you more calm? And
Not this one. This is the only male we ever had. We had 7 females,
Oh,
not
there's two.
all at once.
Oh, there's 2 cats. There's 2 cats, and they did take the popcorn and the Prosecco away.
Oh, I love that.
I would have to
much
get up
better.
and walk way over there.
Much
to see it.
better. I like it.
Could I take my hair down and then you could?
Yeah. Well, I'll take a different
No, that-
photo of you. We'll get it. Before I
Amazing.
At
post
any rate, we really, this is not, Rona's show. This is a community show. That's how I've always looked at it. People say, why don't you call it the Rona show? It's not. It's called Man About Town, but it's about the town and all the surrounding towns. So let's have another shout out for Neighbor Day.
Yes.
Dates, time, place.
Yes.
Will there be anybody selling popcorn? Probably Ben.
We can
He'll
sell-
still
right,
have
Ben will
that
have his
bag. He
popcorn-
can
his
sell it.
popcorn.
I think that this is a magical bag of popcorn that never ends.
I know. Isn't that
And,
amazing? That'd make a great children's book.
The magical bag of popcorn.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
never ends.
Speaking
But
of children, I was going to ask you, with all your work that you do from so many levels, from adoption and families and the DEI, the whole thing, do you ever go into the schools? Because that's where it starts with kids.
Yeah. I actually I'll be in a school tomorrow. I just recently spoke twice at the Stonington Middle School. Lovely.
Oh.
For
Were
Black
you
History Month. And
were you
then
there for the women's thing?
Yeah, I was
I
in a
was
small
there for that
a
too.
breakout room
Yep.
virtually. So I wasn't there in person, but
Oh,
what a
okay.
joy. What a joy. I mean, you get the best questions,
Yes.
the best feedback. I mean, I was talking about my life and being adopted and things, and a student came up to me, not at Stonington, in another school, and said, well, I'm not adopted, but I understand how sometimes you get conflicted about your parents and different things because my mom and dad are divorced and they don't. And so, you talk about
So
things
they
that make
open
space.
up.
Oh my gosh. Children are so ready to talk about difficult things. It's the grownups often that don't want to talk about it. They're
right.
ready. They have their words. They have questions. They're curious. They're like, why did your body shift like that? When I started asking that question, like, why is your face red? Are you embarrassed? Like they know how we're moving, and we can try to deny that, but kids are the answer, man. And I'm obsessed with
And kids
middle
don't have a
schoolers.
filter. They're like
They
old
don't.
people. They'll just say it.
And middle schoolers get a bad rap. I think middle schoolers are amazing. I think they're also misunderstood sometimes. And yeah, sometimes
It's all
they need
those
a little
hormones
what for.
flying around.
Totally.
Yeah.
And being expected. They're bigger now. They're expected to be able to do all these things. And like, they really can't yet. They can't reason well yet. They can't do all these things that we
Yeah.
think. They're just a little taller and a little more fully formed as humans. So we're like, oh, they should be able to do X, Y, and Z. They can't yet. And that doesn't mean they can't do hard things and they're not capable. It just means like age and stage, they need a little more softness and a little more support.
What you're saying is one word: respect.
Yeah.
Because I think there are a lot of people today that don't have respect for kids.
Absolutely.
Or groups of kids or
Absolutely.
groups of people.
Yep.
They treat older people that way.
Awfully.
They think that if somebody has a walker, they can't hear. I've noticed
that
that.
is such a-
They'll
you're so
start
right.
talking like that. And,
Someone
the
goes like-
person says, I can hear you.
I'm good. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. So I love schools. I'm obsessed. I love going there. I'm not a teacher. I'm not an educator. I'm not a psychologist or anything like that. But I
Aren't
have
you glad you're not?
No, but I have a way with kids. I love children, and I think the more we can pour into them and reflect on ourselves as grown-ups on how we work with children, how we accept them, how we look at their abilities and capabilities, and we have so much to be hopeful for when we think about what could happen with the next generation.
That's our
Seriously, and
future.
we have to hold it that way. We can't just stick our heads in the sand and go, oh my God, this world is crazy. It's on fire. Yeah, maybe it's true, but there's also so much we can do. And I hope that for Neighbor Day, we will have some little craft activities that I hope children and young people will come with their families. And we've had the benefit of Danica Caraway, who is Mary Jane's granddaughter, who has been engaging with us. And so we will have that vibe with, she's a high schooler at Prout. But she's been great. So we will have a youth element to this. And I hope over time, we'll have more and more young people engaged in the things we do, because we need them. We need to learn from them, listen to them, and mentor them.
So again, give the date and the time.
May 18th, Neighbor Day, from 12 to 2. We'll start on not the post office steps, the town hall steps, and with some programming, music, and then we'll move into the park with the garden market fair and have some activities for families and children. And it'll be a great day. And I hope folks will come out and see us.
Yeah, because and different people will take it different ways.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a pressure thing. No one's going to be an investigative reporter and interview you and ask you. No, we don't want to hear that.
No. This is wholesome. This is neighborly. This is human. This is fun. This is curiosity and sharing and pride. And
have
all the
you
different things.
contacted the Westerly Village?
I have not. I don't think so.
I can give you a name. And the Westerly Village, the villages in Rhode Island. Do you know about that? The Village Common.
Oh, it's the shopping area?
No, has nothing to do with shopping.
Okay, something
it
about
has to do
commons.
with people helping people.
Okay.
Of
Course. Oh, of
you
course.
knew Sue Ogle?
Yes, of course. It was coming to me. Of course.
All
and
right.
Pete Ogle is on our committee, our multicultural committee.
Perfect. Then they'll be there.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
No, I do, and I'm
because
so
this is right up their
impressed
alley
with
about what
they're
neighbors do
doing.
for each other.
Exactly. No, we're just beginning. We are just beginning this year to get it back online, and I hope in time with people like Suogo, the villages, and the local spot like the Johnny Cake Center, different places that are all about community.
And you've got
really.
Ruth Terechkova.
Oh,
My
oh
God,
my
she's
gosh,
one of the
an angel.
best.
Like an angel with fierceness. I mean,
Oh, yes.
I can't. The people on this committee, Ruth being one of them. I won't name them all because I'll undoubtedly forget someone. But you brought Ruth up, and I just shout out Ruth. She is a community gem. Like, she is a heartbeat in this community and does so much. And I've just been so grateful to get to know her through this committee. She's a star, and she's a partner and a beautiful human.
Great.
So thank you. Speaking of
I
beautiful
think
humans,
on that
thank you.
note, we will thank you for your time.
It's a joy.
Ben, we will thank you. You don't look like DJ Gadget. You don't look like Roxy the radio dog, but at least you like popcorn. But you're doing a lousy job because it's still completely full.
It's so full, guys. Like,
yeah, you must.
Yes, hold it
You
up
must,
again.
You must. You
Yes.
must. And it's bigger than that still. It's not even, you can't even see to the bottom. There we go. To see
There
to the
we
bottom.
go.
Massive.
Yeah.
Okay,
Appreciate
we will
you. Thank
we
you,
will
Ben.
be here
Thank you.
next week, and one of our guests will be, and she's a frequent flyer, Nicole from the Granite Theater. She will be here with actors from the Laramie Project, which is their next big show upcoming, and very special because it's a play, but it's a documentary, and it's very important, and it's very much about our history. So hopefully we will see all of you. Be well. And as I always say, take chances, take risks. Just please don't do it on the highway. I just changed my automobile insurance, and I was telling the new insurer that I say that. She said, make sure you tell them that you. I said, no, don't worry about it. No, be good on the highway, but take a chance in life. You'll never know how life can work out till you try. See you next week.